I'm going to tempt fate tonight and try to record this video stream so I can post it to YouTube in a little bit. Last night the Hubble Space Telescope passed in almost the same place it's going to pass tonight. It's going to be a little bit further higher in the sky, but it's going to come out of the west and pass right below Altair and then disappear into the Earth's shadow. Here's the summer triangle: Deneb, Vega, Altair. This is Saturn right above the trees in the southwest, and this is Antares right at the edge of the field of view of the all-sky camera. Scorpius is here and it goes down, so I don't have a very good southern view with the all-sky camera, but that's also where a city of about 40,000 people live about 3 miles south of me. This is the handle of the Big Dipper, pointing to to Arcturus, and then Spica is back behind the trees. Altair is magnitude 0.9, and the Hubble Space Telescope is supposed to be the same magnitude when it's at its highest altitude. Its highest altitude will be when it's almost due south, and it will be again minus 0.8 tonight. It'll be 63 degrees up in the from the south, and it'll be 606 kilometers from my observatory when it's visible. And you can see the little sugar ants crawling all over the dome of the all-sky camera. You can see a hint of the Milky Way here. This is Cygnus, Deneb, Dalberio, and there's the Northern Cross, as they call it. This is Lyra right here, 2 stars, and Vega. This is the head of Draco, I think, here, and it curves around. Hercules should be almost directly in the center of the field. See if I can pick it out. It's not quite dark out there right now. It never really gets very dark here anymore because of the McDonald's and the rooms to go and the hotel that's about 1.5 miles in this direction. It should, when it appears, it should come out here from behind the trees. It'll pass right below this chain of stars here. And it'll pass below Altair and then disappear somewhere near the observatory in the Earth's shadow. It rises at 8:53:30. So it's roughly in 3 minutes from now, it's going to rise over the horizon to the west-southwest. Last night it was about 1/10 of a magnitude fainter, and I really didn't pick it up until it was visible almost due south when it was at its maximum brightness, and then I could follow it all the way until it disappeared in the Earth's shadow. Last night it was about 12 minutes later, and it disappeared in the shadow right about here. I think that was just a meteor that went right through here. I'll have to play that back in my recording and see if it shows up. I have the camera set to the automatic mode. It's in full color during the daytime, but when it gets dark, it converts the camera to monochrome. I could set it up also in full color for all full time 24/7, but I prefer the monochrome view at nighttime. A few more minutes. In a little over a minute, it'll rise above the horizon. It won't be visible until around 8:50, 8:30, 8:59. At 8:59, it will be located right about here. For those wondering where I get my data from, it's a website, heavensabove.com. You can put in your location and it'll give you ISS passages, Hubble Space Telescopes, iridium flares, major satellites for your location. You can see there's a plane probably heading to New Orleans passing along the northwest horizon. I'm about 40 miles northeast of New Orleans, Louisiana. So by now the Hubble Space Telescope is above the horizon. By 8:56 it'll be only 10 degrees above the horizon and still behind the trees. Hopefully we'll be able to see it right about here at 8:59. A few more stars popping out, and the Milky Way passing through Cygnus is becoming a little bit more prominent, going down into Sagittarius, which is behind the trees. Now the Hubble Space Telescope is 10 degrees above the western horizon and about 1,800 kilometers from here. Okay, Saturn went behind the tree. And keep the mouse where I think it's going to be visible. Hi, Warren. Just waiting for the Hubble Space Telescope. I saw it last night when it passed, and it's about 1/10 of a magnitude brighter tonight, and a little bit higher in the sky. It's still in the south. Where I have the cursor is where I think it's going to first come into view at about 8:59, in a little bit less than a minute. It's actually coming from the west, passing below here, and then heading below Altair and disappearing in the east. That's a plane going by, going the wrong way. That's heading to the west. Yeah, that's a. It'll be going in the other direction, hopefully. 8:58 and a half. There it is. It just came out from behind the trees. There it is. That's the Hubble Space Telescope. Maybe there'll be a mid-air collision. Plus, the Hubble's a little bit further away. Right there, it's probably the order of 1,200 kilometers from us. Well, the Hubble Space Telescope fit inside the cargo bay of the space shuttle, so it's relatively small in comparison to the size of the ISS. The ISS, there are no good predicted passages for the ISS from my location for about another week or so. When it does pass, it's more from northwest to southeast. There's another plane up at the top, keeping pace with the space shuttle. I mean, with the Hubble Space Telescope. Hi, Stu. Yeah, I go to heavensabove.com about once a week to see what's going to be visible from our location. I've caught HST a few times, ISS a few times. I've seen some iridium flares. It's supposed to disappear a little bit further to the east tonight when it goes into the Earth's shadow. Last night it disappeared just to the east of Altair. This is Altair here, summer triangle right here. But it was about 12 minutes later last night, so the Earth's shadow was a little bit higher, and that's when it went into the shadow. Heavensabove.com. Actually, it's heavens-above.com. No, not really. I still haven't gotten my mount aligned. Plus, it's about a bajillion degrees outside. Uh, it's not fun. I prefer doing solar in the daytime in the summer when it's not quite as bad. It's just muggy in the observatory right now. It may disappear before it gets to the observatory dome. When it enters the shadow, it'll be 1,070 kilometers from me, about 700 miles away. It's starting to get dim, and there it is. It entered the shadow. It's gone now. I think I'm going to wrap up this broadcast. Hopefully soon I'll be doing some broadcasting from out in the observatory. I know I did some broadcasting last Sunday with the H alpha scope. Y'all have a good evening. Thanks for dropping by.